Welcome back to the program, everyone. I'm your host, as always, LitecoinLeader, otherwise known as Jeff. And if I point, I got it right. I pointed the right direction. I have to point to my right shoulder, which shows in the bottom left corner of the screen. But you got stuff crawling on the bottom here. Talks about our Becoming Your Own Bank course and the number to call if you need help or text. I got to check that number. I haven't checked it in a little while, but I got to get on that. Been very busy, lots of conversations, lots of things going on. But today I'm going to talk about banks and why they're not going to go away and how we're going to talk about that in a minute. But before I do, let me try to remember to do the thing I'm supposed to do all the time, which is if you like this kind of content, you like what's going on with the channel, and you like the stuff that I put up in the corner, like I'll put the playlist, this one, I'll put the playlist of the new stuff for like the basics of Bitcoin, the Bitcoin basics. And it's a playlist. If you have suggestions of other things, other topics I need to talk about, because I'll tell you, it's when you've been in this for years and years, it gets kind of hard to explain the basics to people and remember what they don't know. But this is the time of year where you bump into family and you go to friends and they're like, hey, that Bitcoin thing was 15 grand last year. It's like doubled, right? And they start asking you questions. And how do you explain it? So how do you explain a blockchain and the 21 million coins and all that good stuff? And point them to my page, point them to my playlist. And if you have more questions, jot them down and send them to me. Let me know. But today, all right. But I forgot to mention, please, if you like this content, like, share, subscribe, share this videos with stuff. It really helps. And if you have suggestions, let me know. But it's really helpful for all that content to help the channel grow, unless YouTube bans me or whatever. But we'll get through that. But and there are videos coming. I have in my mind, I've got a lot of videos to make. Okay, and that's probably what tomorrow is going to be all about. That being Saturday, for those of you who don't know, like I record it all different times, but it's Friday night, little chilly tonight. But I wanted to talk about banks. Okay, let's see. I do have one. Okay, so this stuff. Federal notes, okay? And by the way, I call them I think Cliff High calls them ferns. I like that. It's actually it's just at the top it says Federal Reserve Note, which means it's a loan. You're lending money to the bank when you give them this, okay? When you deposit your money into the bank, it's not yours, okay? And if you haven't found the video yet, I'll try to remember to put up here. I got lots of videos. I'm sorry, but just go to the top and just search my channel and type bail-in or bank bail-in, and you'll learn about why banks, as soon as you deposit your money, it's not yours, it's theirs. So that was kind of the reason why I posted, and I'll try to put this up there as well, about the Unibanco, the bank down in Brazil, and why they're accepting Bitcoin and they're offering Bitcoin. I'll say it that way. They're offering Bitcoin and Ethereum as investment vehicles because they want you to deposit your funds so they can take your money when they bail them in. Okay. That's what, at some point, the banks will collapse. We all know this. It happens, but it doesn't happen overnight. Okay. When this stuff was created, and it didn't originally look like this. I mean, they've changed how this looked. You find an original dollar from, say, 1913 and, see how different it looks. But that, that was like backed by gold and all that good stuff. But that's all gone. This is a note. It's a loan from the Federal Reserve, which is neither federal or has no reserve. The banks will eventually go away. When they created the U.S. dollar, the current U.S. dollar paper note system in 1913 at Jekyll Island, okay, when they first created that idea, it officially became U.S. law in 1913. About this time of year, between Christmas and New Year's, they kind of shoved it through, got it through when no one was looking in D.C. and moved it along. But it took them over 30 years until Bretton Woods in 1944, which I think was in New Hampshire. I think that's the place, Bretton Woods, New Hampshire. It took them over 30 years and two major world wars. And by the way, World War II wasn't done yet. I think it ended in 1945. So they started the dollar in 1913, then came World War I, then World War II. They had a depression the Great Depression in there, the stock crash on the 20s. First, the 20s roared because they printed a whole bunch of dollars and everybody thought that they were wealthy. And then it crashed. Sound familiar? We're not at the crash yet, believe it or not. They pushed it off from 2008 and now it's here again or any day now. But the banks they won't go away. All right. It took them 30 years to move from the dollar, to create the dollar, to become the world standard, right? The global reserve currency. Originally, or before then, it was the British pound. Before World War I, all the European countries went off the gold standard, which was kind of fake too. And over in EconomicPreppers, I have a 5-part series on the history of gold and the gold standard, and the fact that we've never really had a gold standard. But that's what they say. Okay, like if test us if you don't believe it, and they almost did. Anyway, it's going to take a long time for the banks to crash because they're going to try more and more things because banking is so easy and people are lazy. That's the bottom line. When you go to work and you get paid and get a direct deposit, where does it go? The bank. When you send some money and you send it through Venmo or PayPal, what do you get? How you deposit or pull it out? The bank. When you go to the ATM, where do you get the cash from? Your bank account. Banking is making things easy on people because it's a lot more work to go and buy Bitcoin and put it onto one of these and buy these wallets. And by the way, if you go to EconomicPreppers, right in the corner says you got the EP wallets. I think these are $35. It's probably one of the best. And if you go to LitecoinLeader.com, you can use an old smartphone and do it that way with your Wi-Fi. Those are two very inexpensive but very secure ways to store your crypto. I know that came up in my Telegram, which is also free. It's in the description if you want to join that. And I pinned all that stuff up there and on EconomicPreppers chat as well. But the longest story, if I have 6 minutes in, banks aren't going to go away tomorrow. Okay. What they're going to do is they're going to kick the can down the road as much as they can for as long as they can. And the way that they'll do it, this is another example of what Brazil just did. They're offering Bitcoin and Ethereum, but you can't withdraw them. What that means is that, hey, we'll take your worthless pieces of paper and we'll take your hard-earned money that you think it's hard-earned money, but it's just worthless pieces of paper. You deposit those into the bank. And at some point, and you can take them on your account and then, hey, you can trade them in for Bitcoin or Ethereum. But in the fine print, it says you're not able to withdraw them yet. They'll probably never make it easy or available for you to withdraw in the United States. But they are already talking about, and the banks and stateside are already talking about offering cryptocurrency, offering Bitcoin, offering Ethereum. They will have to at some point to compete and to sustain and to still be out there. They're already making commercials, and you might have seen them on TV. You can certainly see them online. They make commercials where like you don't want to give, like, hey, cash is dirty, cash is bad. And the two guys are standing in the kitchen. The guy wants to hand them $50, and the guy says, I don't want your cash. Zell it to me, and use the banking app to send it over. So banks are going to stick around for as long as they can. It took 30 years and 2 world wars to move from the British pound officially as the global currency to the US dollar being the global currency. Now, I don't think it was going to take 30 years because things are more modern. The world is much faster and quicker pace than 1913. We're 110 years later, but it's not going to happen overnight. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Like, banks will still be here tomorrow. They'll still be here all of 2024. I don't know what happens after that, but they're going to try and sustain this system for as long as they can because he who controls the money controls the world, as Rothschild likes to say, or I'm paraphrasing, but you get the idea. So banks are here to stay. I'll talk about cash in another video. I got more to link, lots of more links to put up there, but plenty said right now. Don't expect the banks to collapse tomorrow. Banks will have troubles. Banks will get bailed in. Banks will get bailed out. Know what a bail-in is. Know that keeping money keeping your hard-earned currency and your value in paper form, dollar form in a bank is a risk because it's a third party risk. That's why we hold this kind of stuff. So, lots said today. What are your thoughts about banking? How long is our banks going to stick around? I'd love to hear about it. I'm going to talk about cash and more stuff in more videos. Got lots of thoughts to get out there for you, but lots said today. I will close the Journal in the Bureau, say follow leader. I will catch you on the next video. Take care.